Alright, I am going to do a pilot run. Hopefully, this will work this time. A pilot run of my compiled data research collection checklist. Research data collection checklist that I've essentially compiled from previous research, as the name suggests. So, I'm going to give this a go. Hopefully this will show that everything is set up properly and that my checklist method is viable here as well. And since this is kind of a test run, I am not going to be playing as I normally would. I am actually going to continue an old save game of Blueprints. And hopefully we'll run into the archives. And then that way I'll be able to tick some stuff off. Alright. So hopefully the hotkey that I just pressed will have registered in InfoWriter as well. And I should have a decent, what's the word? Timestamp at maybe 1 minute 20-ish, hopefully. Okay, good, wonderful. We have functioning camera this time. Amazing. When I tried this on Linux, I was not able to move the camera around, and that was a bad time. Alright, let's go exploring. Let's see if we can find some archives. I'm basically just going to run through. I'm not going to do any talking about the game itself at all. We did just see the library there, which I'm quite glad that the library actually showed up separately from the archives. Unusual is absolutely fine for that. Commonplace. Whoops, no, I didn't want that. Locksmith. Call it a standard, maybe. Okay. Well, the library is common enough that it should pop up at some point anyway, so I'm not particularly concerned, honestly. Let's grab some items, enjoy lunch. Oh my god, the world building. The puns. The world building related puns. Okay, package delivered. Hello. Keys, many keys. And let's see. And both of these keys, please. Where are we up to with mail? Using the utility closet in conjunction with the security settings. I don't get to do that terribly much, but you know, it's a possibility. It's a thing that happens. Hugh will open this box and find it empty. I'll come back to this. One of the things that I do want to talk about at some point regarding this game, though, is how the house itself is an archive. Because in previous research, a lot of, maybe a lot is not quite the right word, but, certainly in previous research that I've had a look at in my literature review. Okay, here's the library. Here's the library. I may as well talk about the library. Oh. This is a treasure map. Wonderful. Will I get there this run? Who knows? One nice thing about the library, I don't actually know that I have. You know what? I will actually tick off No, I can't actually take it off. That's community/public library archive. I might just say that there's a separate library as separate to the archive. Oh my god. I may or may not collect data for that by itself, but you know, it's possible. If I want to, it's possible. Let's was it volume 3 that had the thing that I'm after? I do think it's really cute though that it does actually keep records of Mount Holly. These ones are not necessarily the archival type of record, but you know, has records, numerical records. Let's say that it's a nice little inverse way of collecting those, I suppose, to have them in a constantly changing book. And there's a scrapbook, which at some point would very possibly become archival material, but being that it is a present day kind of thing, technically, I don't know if it counts as archival material yet. Anyway, hopefully I can keep going here. Oh, what have we got? Opportunities. I've actually cut myself off quite badly here, haven't I? Let's keep going. Oh my god. Of course, when you want something, you can't find it, right? Oh, that's the worst luck. Okay. At any rate. Shovel. Sleeping mask. At any rate, I might actually be able to use this checklist to talk about what's here already, if we're talking about house as archive. Because I just remembered about the security measures. Hooray! I might have to include an other here. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna have to include other because, at the moment there's a pretty limited list of security measures. It's basically security guard registration, close stacks, NA. There's no other option, so I'm going to need to add another option for things like those security cards, pass cards, which are not keyed to any specific researcher as far as I'm aware. Okay, what else? Does the protagonist adhere to the security measures or rules of the facility? Sometimes. Does on some runs bypassing the security and some runs following the security measures count? I'm not sure. I'm genuinely not sure. Okay, let's have a look at the library and see what this might count as. I'm just gonna say filling out for library as test. I haven't bothered timestamping anything. It's fine. This is a really short recording anyway, so it doesn't matter. I can watch it all in like 10 minutes at double the speed if I need to, but anyway, I don't know if I would what would count as bright in this case, I wonder. I don't think it can really be considered dark necessarily, but it's kind of it's got kind of mood lighting almost, like the outsides are kind of a bit in shadow, but inside. But the middle, the desk is fairly well lit. The sides that have the lamps are fairly well lit. And depending on where you place the library, you could also get light from outside, right? So it's not necessarily that it's bright or dark. Although, if I had to say, I guess I would call this bright as compared to... Oh, is there anywhere that's actually dark in this game aside from the dark room? I don't think so. I think the dark room is the only really, like, dark room. Wow. Wow, that's thrilling inside there. Thrilling inside there. Okay. Records lying about. That is... This home as archive would absolutely tick off the unorganized, absolutely tick off the unorganized checkbox. But in this case, it's intentional. This box and the white box are both false. A true box contains the gems. You will open this box and find it empty. Wonderful. That obviously can't be true. That can't be true. It has to be this one. Yeah, I can logic. But yeah, like, I wouldn't necessarily call any particular room... I wouldn't call any particular room dark, except for the dark room, perhaps. Commonplace is fine. So yeah, like, if we're talking about the library... Oh my god. There are just so many books just around. It's wonderful. If we're talking about the library, I wouldn't call it dark. Some of the books are organized a bit oddly. Like, what's going on with all this leaning? Please get bookends. That's what bookends are for, to stop you damaging your books from having them lean. But, you know, on the whole, this room feels fairly organized. Mostly. Mostly. Some spots are a bit more organized than others. This is kind of nicely color-coded almost, and, oh, this shelf's kind of nice. This one, a bit less so. What's going on here? But that is kind of the gist of it. I would call this, more clean than not. You can't really even see a speck of dust, despite the fact that, you know, we've been wandering around this place for 60... This is day 69, I think. Yeah, day 69. I've been wandering around this place. Day 69. No staff in sight. I don't know who is doing the cleaning. Would I call it organized or unorganized, or neither? I'd say, given that I can't actually see what exactly these books are, I'd say it's fairly organized in terms of the stuff that I can actually interact with. Like, there is a clear organizing system of the books that I can request. Like, it is a clearly labeled form. Clearly organized form. Like, the relevant things are next to each other, right? Except for these, but, like, all of this stuff was bought. And so that's why it's on the thing later. This one is actually not underground, but then it's a library. Libraries aren't often underground, I think. They don't usually get shown as underground. Speaking of underground, I can actually go over to the outside room and see what we can draft. Now, there is no actual archive outside in the outside room, but yeah, okay, see, there's a couple of different things. There is the literal tomb, which is downstairs, and there's a shelter downstairs as well. I might see... Did I unlock curse mode? Yes, I have. let's see what 7 coins gets me. Chef. Hooray. Okay, let me... Something tells you it should stay that way. Too bad I'm unlocking... okay, I need to find a special key to unlock curse mode then. This is fine. This is fine. As they say. Something tells you it probably should stay that way, right? At any rate, that is pretty much all I'm going to be able to say about this, I think. Actually, let me double check the mail. I want to know if... I don't think... What's his face? I don't remember his name. I am so sorry for not remembering your name, my dude. I don't think he mentions an archivist. Randolph, that's his name. He's the lead lab tech. At any rate. And he... I believe he was one of the administrators? Right? One of the administrators. Okay, well, I'm going to go check that because Blackbridge terminals have their own kind of archives, don't they? I think I might need to have... I need to be able to talk about digital archives on these checklists as well, actually. I will probably put it in the other section, come to think of it. I want to try... Nah, didn't think so. Okay. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Back. Return to menu. Use a database. Plus 3 additional delisted admin keys. Admin logs, so this counts as a set of records, right? So that could arguably count. This one doesn't actually count, I think this is meta gaming stuff. Network settings, check connection, temporarily disabled. I haven't unlocked that yet. Will I be able to unlock it in a new one? Who knows? Who knows? Terminal timeout settings. I set it to 1 month, but I don't think it does anything yet because I don't have access to the outside world yet. Okay, that's that. I'm not sure there's anything else I can discuss without having drawn the archive. It might take a few tries, but that's fine. It will eventually show up when I do eventually get around to playing for real. All right, let me save and quit. Call it a day. I might timestamp this now, actually, just to make it easier for me later. And exit. Save and quit. Cool. Alright, that should do it.